funny gaming.
Okay, welcome back to DayZ for Dummies, Episode 2, Coastal Panic, Part 2. We are now about to respawn fresh on the coast, and we'll talk more about what you should do when you're starting out, now that we have all the controls knocked out. Okay, so we're on the coast. Now, if you look to the bottom right, you'll notice it tells you specifically where you spawned. Now that is a very good piece of information. What you want to do is write that name down. Hopefully you get a chance to look at it before it disappears, because it goes away very quickly. What mine said specifically is Kamenka, which is a town on the coast that's on the lower left-hand corner. Which is pretty much the first coast on the first city on the coast, which I actually really like spawning at, because it's pretty far away from the main cities, but it's fairly close to the southern airfield. It's very close to a lot of deer stands, and it's got a pretty decent spot just to get to other places. It does have a bit of a coastal area. I think there might be a big a large garage type thing that you can kind of loot. But so anyways, first thing you want to do when you get in here, besides figuring out where you are, and once you know the name of where you're spawned at, what you want to do is bring up a map, which, let me just go ahead and go prone here, make sure no new spawns try to gun me down. But if you spawn in and you either Alt-Tab, or if you have access to a separate computer or a netbook, or even on some mobile phones or whatever with web access, there is a extremely nice map that you can go to that's at dayzmap.info. That's very detailed. It's interactive, so you can actually see where all of the buildings are on the map that are highlighted in yellow. Those are buildings that have loot that spawns in them or around them, and it's a good way of figuring out where you actually are in the game. So when you spawn, if you look in your inventory, you can see that well, we have a backpack. This backpack you can look in by clicking on it and then clicking open bag, and that'll show you this screen here, which basically tells you I have 8 slots out of 8 empty in my backpack, so I don't have anything in my backpack right now. I'm carrying painkillers, I'm carrying a flashlight on my tool belt there, and I'm carrying 1 bandage. So if you get attacked by a zombie and you are bleeding, that is the only way to stop the bleeding, is by using that bandage on yourself. Okay, so there's our first zombie customer over there. Luckily he is looking in that direction, so we're probably too far away for him to notice us by our sound alone. So we're going to keep wandering along the coast here, which is usually what you don't necessarily want to do when you first spawn, but since they changed the game to where when you spawn on the coast you don't have a weapon yet, so let's see if we can at least get out the flashlight. You can't really use the flashlight unless it's dark out, and you use the L key for that, as we discussed in the first video. But I thought there may have been like a large garage down here by the coast, but maybe I'm thinking of a different town. Oh, looks like there's a hopper over there. Let's see, am I? Yep. Okay, does this server support third person? Yes, it does. Another zombie over there. Okay, so it doesn't look like there is... Or maybe there is. Looks like it might just be a small little... Might just be like a little dock area where there's like one small building. But some of the small little sheds and things only have one loot spot, so some of them are not worth really dealing with. Now, see, this type of situation right here is dangerous just because that zombie is actually walking straight towards us. So, even though I'm actually making a little bit of noise, at least when I'm strafing sideways in a prone position, I'm not making any noise. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so... And like I said in the first video, you can't actually stealth crawl until you get a primary weapon. Unfortunately, I hope they fix that in a later patch, because stealth crawling is very useful. It's one of the few ways that you can really sneak around zombies in the middle of the day. At night, it's pretty easy because their visibility is lowered, but it's also more difficult for you to see. So, although you can actually adjust your brightness and gamma to correct that a little bit, but some of the recent changes have made it even more difficult to see. So, okay, so maybe there is a building over here. You might just not be able to see it because of the wall. As we discussed in the last episode, if you are on the coast and you do attract a bunch of zombies, run towards the docks if there's a dock nearby, because apparently the zombies don't like the docks, and you might be able to lose them by luring them out into the docks where they have to walk, and then you can just, pretty much run to the opposite end of the dock and possibly get away. Okay, so I think we're out of harm's way as far as from that one zombie. There's probably more over here. This is a lootable building, but it looks like you can kind of see through that window right there. There is a zombie inside the door. We don't have any empty cans or bottles to distract him yet, so we may be out of luck looting that building. Let's see, there's a zombie right there. There's still one inside the building. Visibility right now is very, very high because this server is midday. May look a little bit cloudy, but they have pretty good visibility if they're walking towards you. Okay, it sounds like another survivor may have died nearby. Okay, this is very dangerous because I'm very close to where that zombie is. Looks like there's a heat pack, scrap metal. Okay, I'm close enough. Here we go. You may think that empty cans and bottles are just junk, but pick those suckers up. Oh, there we got a crawler. Don't know if he saw me or not. Let's see what he does. If he starts turning towards us, that might be a problem. See if I can get around this corner. Oh, I don't think he saw me. If he's just trying to get around those, yeah, he's just trying to continue on his way. Yeah, there was definitely a survivor that died nearby. You can tell just by the buzzing flies. Okay, so F switches to things that you can throw, like empty cans. And so what I think I'm going to do, see, I think that guy's far enough away. I'm going to throw a can out there. And then I'm going to immediately back up. Okay, so those guys went out to investigate because I threw that can. So now, if I go around the other side to the back entrance, we may be able to loot that spot without them seeing me. I think I am going to go ahead and grab this heat pack just so that it takes what is in that loot spot away, because I can then just, you know, come out here and just drop it. This is one of the tips that I like to give people with the loot spawn. Most people don't realize that the loot spawn, if it's a spot where, you know, like up to 3 to 5 items spawn, if it's filled with a bunch of empty cans and bottles and you don't actually pick those up, it doesn't matter how long you wait, it may not spawn anything else until the server is reset. What you need to do is pick up that loot and just, you can even drop it in the same exact room. It doesn't even have to be outside of the building, but just a spot away from the loot spot. And then, you know, come back like 15 minutes later. As long as that spot is empty, there's a 50% chance for each, you know, item that could spawn there to spawn a new item. Okay, so since we distracted those guys, we threw a can out there for them to go out and check out. Oh, but I think they heard me. Yep, they heard me. Okay, so now we're going to go stand straight up and we're going to run straight for the coast. Because, yep, they're coming after me. We'll see if this works. Okay, so just as I thought, they don't like the coast. Luckily, because we don't actually have a weapon yet, maybe we can lose him in the water. Then we can go loot the rest of that building. Come on, guys. Maybe... we need to get to a spot where they will actually walk out here. Oh, and there's another one. Can you come out? Any of you guys come out here? Maybe I'll crouch. They might not be able to see me now. I'm too far away. Wait, are they walking away? Okay, if I get on the regular ground and they... Oh, no, they still know where I am. Wait, do they? I can't really tell. Yep, they do. Hi. You guys gonna come over here? Yep. Better stand up just in case I get to a spot where they can actually come over to me. I'm over here. I'm over by the coast, guys. That's very odd. Let's see if I can... If I go all the way over here and then sprint, are they gonna follow me? Use Alt to look behind me. Oh, I think I may have potentially lost them in the dust. Are they coming? Yes, they are. But I can't tell. They may have lost me again. Did they lose me? It's hard to tell. And they're walking. Yeah, see, I can't really tell. I mean, maybe it has something to do with, well, that one right there knows where I am, the crawler. I can easily get away from him, though. Oh, you know what? You can loot that building, too. Shoot. I didn't even think to loot that one first. Oh, wait, maybe he has lost track of me. I know those other ones, the walkers, probably did. That crawler, though, he knows exactly where I am. Okay, let's step off this thing and see if they start to run again. Doesn't look like they're going to. Might be okay. Let's go over here. Yeah, that crawler's right there, but might be okay. As long as I don't catch the eye of those other two walkers again. Trouble is, there's a lot more zombies than just those two. There's a hopper right there. Okay, so now, hopefully, we can go into this building and loot the rest of the spots. Another couple of soda cans. Oh. I don't know if they see me or not. It could be, that could be the crawler making that noise. Yep, there he is. Hey, crawler dude. He still knows exactly where I am. He followed me all the way around that building. I think. Unless I lost him. And he's just trying to get his bearings or something. I don't know. Is he still coming for me? No, he's over there now. And it looks like there is a few items in here. It looks like it might just be cans and bottles, though. Maybe some flares. Yep, a couple of... Oh, what do we got over here? Okay, so empty whiskey bottle. Tin can, some 2 rounds of 12 gauge slugs. I'll take those. Go ahead and take these road flares. Even though I don't really like to use road flares because they attract zombies, and it's a surefire way of alerting other players to your location at night because it lights up everything in the vicinity. Okay, so again, I'm going to drop several of these things, but in a different spot than the loot location. And like I said, I don't really need these flares, and I'll just keep one can and 1 bottle. Go back in here, grab those. Okay, there's no other way out of this building, so I need to lower my visibility. You can kind of be a little bit close to them and still be under their radar, depending on what surface you're on. Yeah, he's just going to go under there. It might be okay. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a player died near here, but somebody may have looted him already and then hid his body. Okay, so if we go back here, and now, if you notice, there is new stuff here, and we haven't even been gone that long. So if we would have left all those cans there, you wouldn't have seen this stuff this quickly. Okay, so I'll go ahead and take that toolbox, and there's another soda can, and it looks like some revolver rounds. So there's a... Oh boy. We may have a company. Yeah, I think we might have company. Yep. Okay, time to get up. But it's the crawler, I believe. Yep. Oh no, it's not a crawler. It's one of those hoppers, the monkey zombies. Is that the only one we got on us? Yep. Okay. Okay, we might be able to lose him. See anything new in this? Nope. Oh crap, he's still on me, I think. Oh wait, no, that must have just been a bird. I think we may have possibly lost that guy around the corners. He might still be after me though. Yep, I think we may have lost him. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and... No, I want to go ahead and keep all that stuff. Is he... Sounds like he's... Oh, there he is. But does he detect me? I'm not making any noise. I don't have any visibility at the moment. I'm just kind of standing still. Must be in this tall grass or something. Okay, we might be okay to loot that second section of that building. Okay, yeah, I think we're okay. Oh, and there we go. And look at that. There's the hatchet. And we've only looted just a couple of buildings. All we had to do is just, you know, make sure we picked up all the items, dump the excess outside that we didn't want, and just wait. You know, go away from the area for a second, come back, and we got stuff that we needed to spawn. So first of all, we want to remove that from tool belt. Now at least we have a weapon, and since now we have a hatchet, we can go prone and we can hold down shift to stealth crawl. That is going to be the biggest benefit so far. We don't have any food yet, which sucks, but the places that spawn soda cans can also spawn food. So, I mean, we could just keep wandering back and forth between these three buildings and, you know, hopefully one of them will spawn some food. We only have one bandage, so we do need to be careful with zombies that attack, because if they get a good cut on you and you start bleeding, you know, we only have one bandage to patch ourselves up with. So as I said, even though it's broad daylight, you hold down the shift while you're crawling. In some cases you won't have any visibility and you won't make any noise. Hopefully I can get through this before that guy gets any closer. Oh no, he changed his direction. Perfect. Wait, he changed his direction again. Make up your minds, infected dude. I should throw a bottle over there. Maybe it would distract him. Get him to stop walking over here. Yeah, nothing new has spawned in this building. It looks... Wait. Shoot. I don't know which way he's gonna go. Maybe we should just watch him. Oh man, now he's coming towards me? Seriously? Well, that's not cool. Where's he gonna go? He's gonna see me. Or is he? Nope. He's gonna keep going straight. Well, that was lucky. Let's go back over here. I wonder if we could... maybe throw a can over this wall. Yeah, there we go. Good. Maybe that will distract him so that he doesn't come back over here. Okay, nope, nothing in this building. Alright, it's time to go. So the first and foremost need of the game we have gotten. We've gotten a hatchet. I always say that's the first thing you should look for. Ever since this particular patch, the 1.7.1.5. Once he enabled having that hatchet on the tool belt, it was a huge priority to get that as fast as possible. If nothing else, just for the fact that you can use that as a way to stealth crawl. It's like right there. That guy probably would have heard me if if I wasn't stealth crawling. So far we've been doing a pretty good job of playing it like Sam Fisher, Splinter Celling this place with our little hatchet. Except for that little mishap with having to draw those guys to the docks, but just wanted to show how that worked. So I think now that we've got our better stealth ability, we're going to go ahead and head closer, more into the city, try to find some of the larger buildings that we can loot. Like, I believe that red building is one of them. If I'm not mistaken, it might be one of the buildings that has 2 rooms that you can walk all the way through. There's usually a good chance of finding a weapon, food, sometimes even a bigger backpack. Oh, there's a nice little symbol on the screen right now. That symbol basically means that you're losing sync with the server. Sometimes if you're on a server that's you have a high ping on, that can sometimes happen, but sometimes it'll just go away and it doesn't usually cause too much of a problem. Yeah, see, it went away already, so I'm good. Okay, I think we're able to crawl full speed again, since we're pretty good distance away from any zombies in the near vicinity. Here's another shed that we can loot, but again, with the recent hot fixes, it kind of screwed up the zombie spawns, the infected spawns, to where they are spawning inside loot spots, like, and they'll just stand there. So we don't want to go in there. What I want to do is get to that big red building over there and see if it's one that we can go inside of. It looks like we can, because it looks like we can see through the window in the backyard. So let's see if it is. If it is, it's also a building that you can use to distract zombies if you got a bunch of them trailing after you. We'll find out here in a moment. One thing I did not mention in the last controls video, a couple of keys to take note of. The I button on your keyboard will bring up the server information. So if you happen to miss the name of the server that you joined, and like say your internet goes out but you have some friends there and you want to get back to it, if you hit I, that's how they can find out what server you are on. On most servers, I will bring that screen up and it'll show the server name. P is another one that will actually bring up the player list, so you can actually see, your ping, just different information like that, the names of all the players that are on the server currently. It'll give you some information. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and crawl across the street. Now, I think, yep, stealth crawling is the only way that you can actually cross the road without making any noise. And if I'm not mistaken, this is not, it's not the building that I was thinking it was, but it is another building that you can go inside of. It's just not as easy to escape from zombies in this one, because the one that I'm thinking of is a big building like this, but it has 2 different rooms on opposite sides of each other, two exits that go into a central hallway, and you can basically run into one side, get the zombies to walk into that side, run out the opposite door, run into the other side, loot the other side, and then loot the whole building and still have time to run out the door and lose the zombies that are inside, because they have to walk, and you can get far enough away and duck behind a building and go stealth again before they even realize where you went. Alright, so here we got a very important item in the game, which is a hunting knife and a water bottle. Water bottles you can fill in at ponds and at water pumps that you find in certain towns. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that jerry can. I didn't mean to keep that. I meant to throw it back down on the ground, and I suppose this is a good spot to show you how you can put things in your backpack. If you have your inventory open and you're not actually looking at a loot spot, I'll just look over here, hit G, click on your bag and hit open bag, and basically everything on the right side is what you have in your main inventory, and what's on the left side is what's in your patrol pack. So basically I'm just gonna go ahead and throw a couple of cans of soda in there. I'll throw the painkillers in there. Actually, I throw the slug. Throw the painkillers in there because I may not need those right away. I'll put a ACP round in there. Throw a Makarov round in there, and see each item that you put in there that takes up one slot, it will decrease the amount of space that you have available. So right now I have 3 out of 8 spots available left. Okay, so with this, once again, a good building to get lots of loot from. I'm going to once again take everything in these piles, even if I don't necessarily want it, and since this is not a pile, it's just where I drop my jerry can. I'm going to go over there and hit gear. I see the jerry can, so that's the spot where I drop the jerry can. I'm going to go ahead and drop anything that I don't want, which I don't really want the slugs, I don't really want the road flares. I'll go ahead and, no, I kind of like having a whiskey bottle, because that is one of the loudest distractions you can use to distract zombies with. So I'll go ahead and open up my patrol pack. Now see, this shows you the other way of looking at your bag. If you're actually looking at it at a loot spot on the ground and you open up your backpack, it will show what you have in your backpack on the right side now instead of the left, and then the left is what is in the loot spot that you're looking at. So this is how you can move things from the loot spot straight into your backpack if your primary inventory is full. But what I want to do is move that soda can into my backpack. Even though I have 3 and a water bottle, I still want to keep those just for the time being. And more stuff to grab. Chem lights for servers that are at night are the best things to use, especially the green and the blue ones, because they light up a lot. You can pick them up and they don't draw zombies. So now see there, that was actually a new loot spot. I wasn't actually clicking on the same spot where I dropped this other stuff, but now I am. So I'll go ahead and drop the flares. I'll drop the Lee infield mags, because I don't want a Lee infield. It's one of the loudest weapons that is easily obtainable. It is, I mean, it's got good range and it's nice and powerful, but it's super, super loud. That thing will draw, if you're in the middle of town, when you shoot that thing off, it will practically draw every zombie in town, unless you're inside of a building. Oh, look what we have here. Our first gun, which is a M1911 45. And there, that shows you right there that if you pick up something that replaces the sidearm slot, it will drop whatever you have there, and see when I pick the flashlight back up, as I was saying in the last video, it dropped my mags for the 1911. So what you want to do is right click that and add it to your tool belt, and then pick up the gun. So now that spot is empty. If we go into this last room here, doesn't look like there's anything else. Nope, there's another spot back here. We're going to go ahead and empty that out as well. And we will come back to the front room. And drop those extra cans into the loot spot that we started. Like so. These are 2-round slugs. We don't necessarily want those. I am going to keep the 15-round 1866 slugs. I noticed in the last episode I said they were 1866 slugs and the other kind are 12 gauge. I guess they're all 12 gauge, but for some reason you can't break those up into separate bits of ammo for the other 2 shotguns, unfortunately. Okay, so we're done with this place for now. And these green and red buildings here, you can't actually enter the buildings, but usually there's a little spot in the front that looks like an entryway that has one loot spot that does spawn items. Worth checking just in case it has spawned anything. And in this one it has, which luckily it's something very handy, another bandage. Once again, grab everything, and I'm just going to go ahead and dump some of this extra stuff. I'm going to go ahead and start dropping cans of soda because I have plenty in my backpack. What we really need now is a can of food. Okay, there's another type of building that does loot, spawn loot, so we might head over there. I wonder, this looks like one of the cabins that has loot that spawns in it, but it might not be, as it's facing the wrong way. It might, however, be one that has a an outhouse behind it. Outhouses actually can spawn weapons, backpacks, you name it. Okay, and now this is a good find here. We got a full water bottle that time. So at this point we could almost just drop all of the soda cans. Because those having 2 water bottles, I mean, you can refill them, so you don't really need to worry about water. Because there's a lot of places where you can fill up water that are in the wilderness where zombies aren't around. So might as well get rid of any excess just single-use drinks, unless... Now right there was a primary reason why I mentioned in the last video why I usually turn off the double tap W for to sprint. What I'm going to put instead is the tab key, which according to this it also does next target, but I think that's more for just armor in general, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Let's just delete that one. And now I'm only going to sprint when I move, I'm pressing forward or backward and then pushing tab as well. But I won't accidentally start running when I don't want to. Oh, and if you see these logs with an axe stuck in them, they're not lootable. There we go. There's a building that has an outhouse. These outhouses do spawn items, and one thing people don't really realize is you don't necessarily have to open them to loot them. And some people actually have trouble once they open the door. It's like they go up and they're like, how do I pick it up? How do I pick it up? Easiest way to loot an outhouse that has gear in it is to leave the door shut. Here, a zombie. Okay, but leave the door shut. I'm going to go ahead and go prone just to show you what you can do here. Let's see, if we scroll around, it looks like there's a Zed right on the other side, probably of this fence over here, so we're not going to worry about him. So go to the side of, I believe the left side is the best way to do it, but go to the left side and just move your cursor to point at the side of the outhouse. And typically if you see that particular symbol right there, scroll your mouse and then choose gear. You'll still lay on the ground because you have your primary weapon out, and you can loot it without even opening the door. And luckily here, one of the items that it spawned is something that goes in my tool belt, a watch. Now I can actually use the O key to bring up the watch, and I can see what time it is on the server that I'm on. You can also double tap O to make it stay up there. That way you can kind of tell if you jump into a server that is, you know, daylight. You can tell whether it's like, you know, the middle of the day or if it's getting close to nighttime. Even though sometimes the brightness in the game is kind of misleading, because it'll look like it's, you know, pure daylight, but then like an hour later and it's dark. So okay, so we got a watch, we have 2 water bottles. The only thing really that we're missing at this point is a some cans of food. Now what I'm really wondering is, we've been away from that red building where we found the 1911 for a little bit of time. It's possible that it may have even respawned some items already. Wait, is that even the same one? I think it is. Let's check this loot spot. So we're basically going to go ahead and backtrack now just to prove a point. Okay, nothing in that one. We probably didn't get quite far enough away for that one, but boy, you can tell this, I don't think this particular server that we're on right now has been rebooted in a while, because the lag is pretty bad. I'm only getting about 8 frames a second at the moment. Usually get at least 30, but it's okay. If it gets too bad, I'll just leave the server and come back. I mean, it's one cool thing about DayZ is its persistent inventory. As long as you're alive, you can jump from server to server and still have the same gear. Oh, that's wonderful. A nice zombie just walking on the road. There we go. Now I'm stealth crawling and moving up and to the left, and that is causing me to have no audibility, luckily. And even though I'm right next to this guy, he does not hear me for now. Hopefully we can keep it that way. I'll just stop. Luckily, if you're not moving, you can actually mouse look around without making any noise or any adverse effects. Okay, let's see. Are we far enough away? Okay. Again, we're going to just crawl straight across the street. And then you see that ridge right there. That might actually stand us up if we try to crawl over it, but we might be able to crawl sideways. This is one thing that some people don't realize, like stairways and things like that. It's in a sense dangerous because sometimes it can glitch out and cause you to like break your arm or break your leg or whatever if you try to crawl up certain surfaces. But alright, so we're back in this room. Doesn't look like anything new has spawned yet though. Let's check the back room. Yep, new stuff. And all we had to do is clear it out. And there might be some, yep, new stuff over here as well. Behind here, and new stuff back there. And all we did was leave and come back after we cleared out those spots. And you notice the loot that we dropped is still all there. Okay, Makarov mag, move that. And I do believe this type of building spawns more than just, you know, bandages and mags. It can have a chance to spawn more rare things like this stuff. And I don't think I touched on what the hunting knife does. You can hunt animals in this mod. You can hunt, and when you kill animals, if you have a hunting knife on you, you can skin them and take raw meat, which you can cook. If you have matches to start a fire, or if you go into a town that has a barrel that you can light, start a fire in, you can cook the meat. And meat is one of the easiest ways to gain back blood. Regular cans of food actually only give you, I believe, 200 blood back, but the cooked meat, I believe, gives you back 800. So it's definitely in your best interest to hunt for. Oh, and hey, look at there. There is actually a Makarov. So this is one of the buildings that can spawn a Makarov. But we don't actually want that. I think what we're going to do is start a new loot pile right here, right in front of this table, and drop some of this extra stuff as our bag's getting a little full. Drop that. We'll drop these pellets. Drop the chem lights. Drop that soda can. And I think I'm going to go ahead and open up my bag as well and drop some of these cans of soda and those Makarov mags. Oh, and that ACP round that I picked up earlier, I can actually convert that to oh, there's a zombie nearby. Luckily I don't have any visibility where I'm at. I'll go ahead and drop these. I'm going to keep that bolt because that's for the crossbow, and that's one of my favorite primary weapons in the game. Unfortunately, the bolts don't actually stack, so they're, you know, kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop all these Makarov mags here. I'm going to go ahead and take actually, I'm going to go ahead and drop my 1911 right in front of me, and then I'm going to take that Makarov and put it in that loot pile that we made. Because I may actually leave this this town right after this, but I want to give the next person that happens upon this building a better chance to have more items appear for them. Because I'm a friendly DayZ player. I like to help other players, not shoot them in the face. I'm probably going to start another series in tandem with this one, called Adventures of the Friendliest Person on DayZ, because I'm not really too up on the player killing in this game. I like to be friendly. I like to try to help people out. And even though most of the time I try to help people, and I'll sometimes actually help them and then get gunned down for no reason. But I don't want to shoot people. I want to defeat zombies. I turn that into another mag for that gun. And for some reason it caused me to drop. Oh yeah, that stuff is actually in my backpack. I forgot about that. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and stick the 1866 rounds in my backpack, just in case I find a Winchester before a crossbow. I'd take either one at this point. The thing that I love about the crossbow is the fact that it's silent, and if you're good aim with it, it's a one-shot kill. Plus, you can retrieve ammo from zombies a good percentage of the time. It just kind of depends on where you shoot them and how they fall. Okay, so we looted that. Now we're going to basically repeat our steps back to some of these other buildings that we looted. Still need food. We could use a bigger backpack. Unfortunately, we may have to actually go to a town to find a bigger backpack. And we're pretty far away from a town. Might be better off going to one of my favorite towns, but that's far, far to the north, and I don't have a... Oh, look at that, another Makarov. Huh. And probably another Makarov mag. I guess Makarovs spawn more often than I thought. So I'm gonna grab that and dump that in this spot right here. And then pick up my 1911 again. You notice when you pick up a gun, it picks up any ammo for that gun, and any ammo that you have in the spots where the ammo for that gun would go, it will drop if they're not for that gun. I mentioned that a bit in the first video. Wow, the lag is really getting bad on this server. It may be about time to end this episode. And so far, I mean, it doesn't look like we're too hungry. We're getting a little bit more thirsty because I did a bit of running away from those zombies towards the beginning of the episode, but I think maybe we'll get in a slightly better position, maybe in the woods, to find a stopping point. See, did this respawn any loot? It's hard to tell with this choppiness. Nope, not yet. I wonder, did I? No, I don't. Okay. I was trying to figure out if I had the gun out or the hatchet. This is getting really, really choppy. I think basically we're going to check that outhouse one last time and then find a place to stop. I may have actually gone way well over the amount of time that I wanted to spend on this video anyway. It's kind of a long, slow start, but I mean, so far we've done pretty good. We haven't gotten attacked once. I mean, we've gotten chased after, but we didn't get attacked. And we got a few nice items, you know, a good sidearm and a hatchet, some water bottles. Okay, so we're on the side where we would be able to loot it if it had something in it, but it doesn't look like there is, because the only thing that's showing up is just the open door symbol. So I think what we're going to go ahead and do is head into this forest up to the north over here. I would possibly run to the north over here to the closest deer stand, but I don't want to do that right now due to the fact that I don't have a compass, plus the lag is kind of bad right now, so we'll have to save that for the next episode, I think. Just come up here, nice little spot, maybe under one of these, close to one of these bushes. And we'll go prone. Actually, that's not necessarily the bush I was looking for, but looks like we have some visibility, or a bit of cover. Alright, so that'll be all she wrote for this episode. Once again, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. I do read all the comments of each episode, so if you have any questions or want me to show you anything specific, or have a question that needs answered, you know, just let me know in the comments, or send me a message on YouTube or whatnot. I do have a YouTube page and a Twitter as well, so feel free to send me any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next DayZ for Dummies.